Hi, I'm smiling so big right now. My heart is full of good words, and my body is full of good sleep. Back in my home, I have my baby Jayu sitting next to me in usual form as I'm working at my desk back in Madison after a trip. My last two podcast recordings were in Toronto and Buffalo. And I'm going to continue with the theme of maybe a little bit more on the spiritual side of things. I'm really excited to share this with you. It's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I get to put it into words and share it with you. And if you are someone who listens to my podcast regularly, I just want to say thank you. I can see the different cities where people listen, and it's kind of cool to see cities from all over the world, places I would have never imagined people listening. And I can kind of see you. I would like to see you more. So if you would like to reach out, comment below or send me an email, I'd love to hear from you. It's just nice to be connected in this way. And if you are new to listening to this podcast, you are so very welcome. You got 90 something episodes to listen to if you'd like to go back to them. Something I've noticed, okay, let's go into it. Something I've noticed with the people that I admire the most, like the rule breakers, the progressives in their field, the people who defy barriers, people who have in a lot of ways things that I've wanted. They did things their way. to think of the Frank Sinatra song, I did it my way. And so often, whether in fitness, health, business, life, money, relationships, we want to know what they did so we can copy them. And there are quotes out there like success leaves clues and things like that, which I agree with. There are principles and we can learn from them. And people who have achieved success financially, relationships, business, life, health, whatever, all these areas, they can tell you how they did it and they'll tell you their story and you can learn from them. But what I've realized from trying to copy people who have had success, especially in fitness and in business, is that it doesn't always work for you. You can copy people and try to do things their way, but they can tell you what to do and you can follow and you can do the exact same thing that they did or that they're doing in the exact same way, and it doesn't always work. So the answer is not in trying to do something in another person's way, but to discover your own way. And sometimes that might go along with the current of your culture, but often it means choosing beliefs that feel true for you. It means being willing to swim against the current and claim your own beliefs. Claim what you know to be true in your heart. And truth is something that we claim for ourselves. And I know as I'm saying this was drilled into me as a kid growing up in a religious home. My dad would say this from the pulpit over and over again. There is objective truth. There's one right way and there's wrong. And so like it is drilled into me that so much that I feel a little bit sacrilegious saying this, but I know it to be true. So there's just old programming coming up. But you claim to be true what is true for you. If you say, I can't do this, then that is true for you. If you say, I can do this, then that becomes true for you. And I think that's why it's so scary to go into your own way and go on your own path, because it feels like you might be going against what you've been taught. It might mean going against what other people are doing. And that can be scary. And that's why we admire the people who are brave. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of RuPaul. RuPaul is cool. I love RuPaul. She gives me life. I've watched most of the episodes of all the drag races, and I've listened to most of the episodes of their podcast. But I just like RuPaul is one of those people who shines. I feel like RuPaul is a star being on this earth and shines so brightly and just does things his own way and laughs so much. And I think RuPaul has got this. Like RuPaul gets this. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about RuPaul when I share these things. And personally, I've had to do this to discover my own path. Like I think about growing up in my religious home and going to college and choosing even a field that most girls did not to study, and seeing myself as a single woman missionary, which now seems oppressive, but at the time that was progressive for me. I was one of the only girls in my Greek class, and definitely the only girl or woman in my Hebrew class, along with fellow professors. So I wasn't afraid to go against the grain in some ways. I liked it. I liked being different, and I'm grateful for that trait that I have in myself. I think about when I came out and I realized, oh, I like women, and it I was faced with this decision. Do I want to stay on the path I grew up in and stay connected and accepted in my world? Or do I want to live what I know to be true inside me and to be out and to love who I want to love? And I chose that path. And it meant a lot of pain and rejection or seeming rejection. It meant a lot of hurt and definitely going against my culture, how I grew up. I think about even in my business, well, starting my business, I was in linguistics and teaching English as a second language as my career. That was what I knew. Teaching was my thing. And so like completely shifting into a different field was scary because I didn't know very much about starting my own business. Didn't know what I was doing. And then even more, I'll say, and still, this is something that comes up for me, is like going against the grain in my industry. It feels like, thankfully, there are other people who have similar values to me. So I'm not saying like, oh, I'm alone and no one, I'm the only one doing this. I'm not saying that, but just even being anti-fat phobic can be pretty rebellious in this industry when everything is about weight loss and looking a certain way and so focused on looks. So I feel, and I'm proud of myself for choosing my truth over and over again. And I'm still figuring out what that is more and more. So that's just a personal example of me sharing what I've done. So you know that I'm not just talking from my head. I'm talking from my heart and my life and my experience. So the question comes, if you want to fully enjoy your life, if you want to find out more about who you are, can you be brave enough to accept nothing less than your whole self and to show that to the world? Can you make decisions proudly, knowing that it's for your highest good? Joseph Campbell says, if you can see your path laid out in front of you step by step, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. So how do you know what path to take? How do you know what is your truth? How do you listen to your heart and your mind and let that be joined? And here's just a little side note. heart and mind. When your heart is in alignment with your mind, as in your heart is saying yes and your brain is not saying no, or your brain is saying yes and your heart is not saying no. But if they're both saying yes to something, that is like unlocking your power. Like I have my two hands together and it's like a think about like a 90s like Power Rangers kind of like object in the sky interlocking, and then once it interlocks, pew, all this light and power comes out. Unlocking. That's your superpower. Your heart and your mind and your body all in alignment. Ooh, that you're unstoppable at that point. But how do you know what that is? How do you get there? And it takes bravery to sit and to listen. It takes bravery to rest, to be courageous enough to be shown what it is, knowing that there might be risks involved. One thing that you can say to yourself, one thing that you can practice the attitude of is show me who I am, or show me the truth of who I am. Show me who I am, not what I think I am or what I want to be or what I think I should be, but show me who I am. And if you can really say that sincerely and just be open to the answer, any answer, that is powerful. And you're like at the brink of a huge ocean, or you're in the middle of a huge galaxy, ready to explore what comes. And the uncertainty, I know, is super scary. We humans want to be certain about things, and sitting with the unknown is really where you build these muscles to grow. And life is in constant flux. Life is constantly changing. So if you can find peace and groundedness and uncertainty, you are a force to be reckoned with. So how do you know? Really, it's a willingness, it's an openness, it's a courage, and also just listening, being willing to just, I will say that one of the best things that you can do for your health and fitness and your life, and I've done podcasts about this, I think you could go back and listen, doing nothing could be the best thing for your fitness. One of the best things you can do for your health, your well-being, your life is to just listen. Go out, preferably in nature if you can. Get out as far into nature as you can, away from noise, and just sit, and no distractions, just sit. And if you're not used to doing it, it might be challenging, it might feel uncomfortable, but just keep practicing it, keep going back to that, sitting and listening and being still in the silence, and just listen to the sounds, listen to what's coming up in your mind, in your heart. This is kind of a form of meditating, but it can be difficult to do, and the more you practice it, the better you get. But you're going to get answers, all the answers that you need and want and are looking for, if you have that openness and you put yourself in places where you're willing to listen. And the answers don't just come in the stillness in nature, they come throughout your life. But it's a powerful practice. And that's why in the 4-H method, we start with rest and just connecting with yourself, your worthiness and your power. And I share more about how you do that. And it's in a structure where you're supported as well. And then we work on undoing harmful cultural beliefs around movement or exercise and food and our bodies, so that you're better able to recognize the noise that is, influencing your choices, influencing your path around your fitness and your body and health and food and exercise. And the 4-H method is designed to support you in creating your own path for your health, discovering what that is and creating it for yourself. So there's structure there so that you're supported, but it's not me or anyone just telling you what to do. It's giving you space and support and structure and strategies and steps, the 5 S's, so that you can make those choices yourself. And then the 4-H method at the end, if you go down to the end of the page, the link is in the show notes. I tell you that you don't need it, which is Anti-marketing. You got to tell people they need it. You got to tell people that if they don't have it, they're gonna suffer. That's the whole message around marketing. If you don't have this, your life is not gonna be as good. And that might be true with the 4-H method because it is good, but you don't need it. You can do this all on your own. But if you want the support, if you want the help, if you want to be connected with others as you're doing it, including me and other heroes, then it's the best place for you to do that. But we start with your body as your home and connecting with yourself and who you are, and then creating your own hero journey through your health, that one that's unique to you. And you're encouraged in that. It's one place where you'll be encouraged to create that, what that looks like for you. Because the whole reason for what I do is for you to discover more of who you really are. And enjoy your life fully, not for the sake of health, but through it, through food, through movement, through your body, with your body, in your body. It's incredible. It's so incredible. So health and fitness changes from like a destination to get to, and instead becomes a catalyst for you discovering more of who you really are and living the life that you want. I remember there was a time shortly after my divorce, maybe like a year after my divorce, which was one of the darkest, hardest times in my life. And I would just sit with this question of like, who am I? Who am I? Like, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? Like, what the fuck is life? And maybe, I mean, people call the dark night of the soul. I feel like that's a little bit, we can talk about the same thing, but it feels a little bit overused at this point. I don't know. And I just felt myself as a light. And I realized I don't need to be productive or have a purpose or be doing something in order to be worthy. I could just be a light and draw in people who are also attracted to my light without having to put so much effort into it or having to chase people. And I could be enough just being a light, just being me. I could be enough. And when I got that, I realized, oh, that's what I want to share more with people. And it's self-correcting, because if I go into that place of, oh, I need a purpose to feel good and I need a purpose for me to be worthy, the whole premise of this quote unquote purpose knocks it under its feet. So I am worthy just being. Just like a tree doesn't try to be something, it's not trying to be a tree, it just is a tree. And it gives life and it has value. We don't have to make it something or dress it up. It's just a tree. And it's enough just being. That really helped me. Trees really helped me. Thank you. Thank you, trees. I love you. You're so amazing. And I'm looking right outside my window where I see all these beautiful trees. They're green now because it's spring, and finally they've gone from brown little leaves hanging on gently to blooming green all around me. And so I appreciate these beautiful trees in my house. So my question is, what is your light? What is your door? What is your path? Who are you? I know these are big questions, but if you can answer these questions and give yourself, permission to stop the noise of life, the busyness of life, and have the courage and the openness to say, show me who I am, show me my path, then you can really connect with who you most deeply are. And then when you connect with who you most deeply are, things make sense. And even in the uncertainty of things not making sense, you have a home, you have a ground, you have a place to come back to that is your own. And from there, you get to take those steps one by one. So if this is something that you want for your life and for your health, to undo these go against the culture really, and create your own path, your own healthy hero journey from your body as your home, I'm just going to make a simple invitation for you to join the 4-H method. because the answers are not in what someone else is doing, what your parents did, what your friends are doing, what the culture expects of you. I mean, fuck, I'm in Wisconsin. I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I would have never thought that I would be here. I am 30, how old am I? I'm 36 and I'm dating beautiful. Yeah, I'm dating and I'm exploring more of who I am. I live with my two cats and like I never would have expected this to be my life. And I know that it keeps getting better from here. And I'm just taking it step by step with clear desires of where I ultimately want to be, but taking it step by step as it comes. So, what is your door? What is your path? What is your journey? If you would like to discover more of this for your life and your fitness, your health, with food, exercise, with your body, and create your own path, come join us in the 4-H method. It's so wonderful and beautiful, and you can be connected not just with me, but with other heroes as well. And kickstart this revealing of who you really are.